Podcast. But this day now has a whole nother new reaction now. It has a whole nother new reaction to whatever the hell it is that's going on here. As I basically make the situation even worse by covering that this restaurant did not shut down without a food handler's card and all this shit, and like posting the video about it. I mean, it's just another way to be like, well, I'm not sure how else to say it anyway other than this, but I'm clearly fighting a war right now. And that war involves me standing my ground and just being like, quite simply put, that I cannot share my battle tactics. And unfortunately, the paranoia that comes with fighting a war is not going to be an excusable and permissible excuse to say that I can't fucking run a successful goddamn podcast over here and have people sending me money and comment and all this shit. Because all this shit that I'm commenting on and all this shit that I'm aware of and saying something about, after I say something about it, it has to change. If it doesn't change after someone says something about it, it does go up to higher places, and it does and will go up to higher places. The issue will be evident to more people than just me. But right now, me having a serious problem and continuing on anyway is perfectly fine of a tactic right now, as it's not even really a tactic. I'm just living my life. So that's 2 minutes of that, plus what I was just saying in the last video of I don't know how long, about thinking that my reaction is to laugh because I'm nervous or something like that. I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. No one else knows what the fuck it means. No one knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Nobody knows anything at all, ever, anywhere, at any fucking point in time. So let's just read a fucking article about Slipknot. Slipknot is gonna be fucking learned all about. Plenty of fucking time to learn all about who Slipknot is in this 4 or 5 separate articles. So if you have an interest in metal music, like I say on the theme song for my metal podcast, then we don't need to have any issues from here on in, from this day forward. But the first words are, for Slipknot, getting selected to play Ozfest 99 was a dream come true. Roadrunner Records gave them their first album. That summer would come to outstrip Slipknot's expectations. While they were away, He's saying Fear Factory was considered tame. Appeared, not considered, appeared tame by comparison. With, of course, the effect that Slipknot pervaded upon their performance. Free 2-song album sampler cassettes. Wow. Yeah, that must have been when. Let me comment on that little side notes. Yeah, that must have been really when the valuing song making, creating songs, and valuing music was expressed in a different way than it is right now. And all that one can do from my era and being a 90s baby and growing up listening to Slipknot and remembering very vividly being in a gymnasium listening to Slipknot in school. That were clearly, obviously, just showing different expressions of our appreciation for music now than we were back then with these 2-song cassette. Wow. Free 2-song sampler cassettes. I wonder what songs were on there, man. In that pre-everything on the internet era, their identities were unknown to all, except those who knew them back in their hometown in Iowa. They'd spend hours chatting to wide-eyed fans, their Midwestern manners and warmth, a jarring, disarming contrast to the grotesque freak show masks that conceal their identities. Or Ozfest stuff. Excuse me, Vegas backstage. 2000 House of Blues. Side banter number 2, diverted. Let's turn the page here. I'm seeing some story here. It looks like we have a story of remembering Sharon Osbourne being so supportive that the band suppressed their anger at the pettiness of the directive and dutifully towed the line. Until pallets of cassettes left unopened at the close of each night made a clown very irksome until he had literally had enough. And then he said, screw this, I can't let these tapes go to waste anymore. I thought we're not gonna get kicked off the tour, and if I have to apologize later, I will. Yeah, this is the sticky situation I find myself in right now. You know, you see these stories, you know this is how things have always operated, and you know that this is not how things operate anymore. And you have to sit and do something about it. Do something about it, no matter what it is. Basically. So anyway, Clown rode a BMX bike across the parking lots and kind of gave, I'm gonna eat some chicken and french fries, and passed out these tapes. His iconic Al Pacino sample that precedes. Oh, I had a glitch on the screen there. I saw that glitch. Iconic Al Pacino sample that precedes Corey Taylor's vocals are sick. Might be the song that it's like literally pre-self-titled or something, maybe, I don't know. So, Joey Jordison, who died in 2021, and Paul Gray, the bassist who died in 2010. Clown says, I'm doing these 25th anniversary interviews and not a lot of human beings are asking me about them. You can't talk about any of this without talking about them. The former bandmates, not the human beings. Good to see so many introductions of musical artists being introduced to these musical artists. Just pre-2000, before the year 2000. Always before the year 2000. I'm scanning the pages now here to see how fast I'm gonna go through this article, or you could even read the article yourself. the cocky 23-year-old pretty boy frontman of Des Moines, most popular rock band Stone Sour, is, by his own admission, both a snotty fucking asshole and the best singer in town. Sean and Joey may have mockingly dubbed him the king of Des Moines, but they also recognized that he shared their hunger and ambition to rise above their circumstances. He's working at a sex shop with Mick Thompson. He joined in '96, replacing Donnie Steele. So, before he left Stone Sour, and it says 2018, but the band has released some, I'm pretty sure, fairly certain, they've released some new tracks after 2018. I'm not sure. Wow. So Joey was number 1, Paul number 2, Corey number 8. You think Corey would be number 1? Joey would be just anybody other than Corey being number 1? In this town, you're basically a nobody. Clown later explained about him. You're just like everybody else, a shadow of an entity that walks around faceless. So we kind of put the masks on because that's what we felt like. We were no one, and we automatically didn't care about our faces. We put the masks on as if to say, you don't care who we are, so we don't care who we are. That may have been the case then, but it wouldn't be for much longer. So Ross Robinson infamous producer of Korn, the first two Korn records. I'm not certain about it being Indigo Ranch or not, but Limp Bizkit's debut, $3 Billy-O, Sepulture's Roots. As a Roadrunner Records producer, who recently, God, I'm just shoveling this down here. Yeah, I gotta set this down. So, Ross wasn't impressed with Wait and Bleed and Spit It Out. More stuff there if you want to read, and makes it pretty cool to pause. If you can pause, you'll basically have a magazine on your phone or your computer or here on this video. With recording almost done, the band returned to Des Moines to celebrate Christmas with their families for the holidays. Then they returned to Indigo Ranch. It was Indigo Ranch. They returned to Indigo Ranch as a fan I guess as a fan I conduct most of these episodes, but as a fan of commenting on this specific part of this specific episode, the fucking Indigo Ranch business is like a big deal up in Northern California. I've been to Bakersfield. It's just like Fresno. It's like a normal little spread out industrial areas, has farmlands with cows. But Indigo Ranch is not a ranch with cows. Indigo Ranch is a ranch with studio recording equipment and an interest in being known for implementing new metal into the genre categories that literally if you could quote anything from this whole 2 or 3 part episode of the show, it would be this: that nu metal just can't be recreated, as it's too easily recreatable. You can create all kinds of nu metal recreation, nu metal lookalikes, but it's nu metal had the era of the 90s and early thousands, and that's it. It's now just inoculated into the people and inoculated into metal music itself. That's all I'm saying. Korn had mocked up a homemade platinum disc using a piece of card from a pizza package. They had signed it, framed it, and hung it on a wall with a note saying, "This is our platinum disc." I thought it was so cool, sounded nuts. It was like, whether we sell a record, this is our dream. This is how good this record is. This is what we deserve. Then one day I was finishing eating a $1 pizza from the local pizza place. It dawned on me that Korn had been eating those same $1 pizzas too. My brain just melted, man. I was like, okay, we're gonna go platinum too. I know it. May 27th, the day after my birthday. Hey, cheers to birthday. Happy birthday. You know, I can't jump to my calendar right now because I don't want you knowing what my background is. So I'm kind of gridlocked right now. I don't want to be here right now. So I'm kind of pissed. So if I could just get on with the episode, that'd make me pretty happy. I'd appreciate that. Alright, good thing that I mentioned that to myself. God, these little banters, side banters, conversations I have with myself make me real hungry for chicken and french fries. And nothing else. Well, I'm not going to educate you on the band or anything much at all, really, but the stuff that I'm learning is cool. So I'm just looking out for the stuff that I'm learning, and then I'll comment and say something about those things. But other than that, I'm not interested in just being here right now, like I was just saying a second ago. the drummer woke up in his home with his mask in his hand, or he's just in his living room with his mask in his hand. And the band's trajectory had him so excited. They ended watching James Cameron's Oh wow, James Cameron directed the Titanic. I didn't realize that. 1997 blockbuster Titanic on TV. And Joey told me the last half hour is so rad, so I watched it. And I'm not embarrassed to say, I got all fucked up, dude. He said, when the girl says goodbye to the guy and tells him she won't forget him, it got to me. Excuse me. I got back into bed beside my wife, and I started thinking about my life. This is the craziest fucking dream I'd ever want. Well, then I read the quote back to Clown today, 1 week before his band got on the road to celebrate the 25th anniversary of their debut album. There's a brief pause as he absorbs his own words from a quarter of a century earlier. Ending that one with 9 guys that wanted to make it, being in the same place, made it work. And we wound up here, and here it is wonderful, he says. So the fucking, the fucking first article of Slipknot is complete after 33 minutes exactly. I don't know, there's like slight, subtle, vague mentions of them being satanic. There's a certain reputation bestowed upon them to hold that podcasters like me don't come around being mistaken for trash mouthing and bad mouthing Slipknot, but because I'm not, but they're not satanic. Welcome to Iowa. In July, temperatures in Des Moines average 30 degrees Celsius, and humidity levels can reach 80%. But back in the mid-90s, nothing could stop a Slipknot performance. And we'll go on here to read basically what I want to read, and then to read things like the sweating buckets, the anger that's rooted in the isolation and banality of Iowa life, loving what you do for a living, this is being referred to as something not common in Iowa. And you're and you're in luck. We're in luck. I'm in luck. Everybody's in luck. Joe Daly is definitely in luck, as he's the only one interviewing on this article. Cornfields fucking everywhere. Art scene not exactly reviewed. I got to do a whole fucking episode about that, and my, being silenced reputation here is getting very comfortable silencing me over here. I'm not sure how comfortable I'm going to be being silenced, but that's all that I can say about that, though. Oh, it's when Corey met Paul. And then Corey met Paul and they made a band together. Anyway, let me do a quick side banter. Wait, no, it's actually not side banter. It's an advertisement. It's a promotion. Let me do a quick self-promotion. The fucking goddamn 50th episode, 51st, 50th, 51st, 51st. Oh my fucking god, it's not that fucking big of a deal to be that goddamn specific. We're not doing Opus 3 in the fucking goddamn Symphony fucking Concerto, Salt Lake City over here. '51st episode of the show has some pretty cool stuff and disturbing information. Disturbing to me, at least. That's why I'm trying to cover it. About certain stuff. Me meeting bandmates and not going anywhere with it. Me uploading content, sharing it, getting it rejected. Also, was thinking last night about another record label that I submitted. I've submitted my stuff to Metal Blade Records as actually, what do you call it? Realistic. Just a little too authentic. It's just a little too realistic and authentic to be accepted, or you know, if I want to play some kind of game of some sort and maybe submit something later, we can act like I didn't submit some sort of half-ass, just barge in and submit some half-ass bullshit first. Because essentially that's all it is. It's just like, hey, you know, I'd rather just do vocals, you know, and I'm getting the story here of how Paul and Corey met, and then I'm thinking about the story of how me and other artists met, and there's something wrong. Something's wrong here. Oops, something went wrong. Let's check that out, episode 51, 52. Fucking mind you, by the way, this is like a huge cram prior to International Podcast Day. And then floating on the cloud of International Podcast Day being on Monday, that I have to follow up the very next day doing another episode. I know damn well, full and well, that I'm gonna be fucking fine. Are the squirrels in these trees around me gonna be fine? Probably not. They're probably gonna absorb some of this toxic energy I'm emitting. I'm like just as toxic as like any other industrial area that just is polluting the living fucking shit out of the environment. But I'm connected to nature and wholesome and like health and wellness. Alright, let's get back to the issue. I knew Sean off and on from the scene. But I don't know who Davo is, so Davo Wilkins. So David Davo Wilkins, owner of Axiom Body Piercing Studio, was closely involved in played indie band called The Have-Nots with future Slipknot drummer Joey Jordison. Slipknot, Have-Nots. I think I'm getting somewhere. I think I'm making headway. Sean and Paul started Slipknot with their friend Anders Kolsefny, originally testing out the names The Pale Ones and Meld. I'm just never interested in reading about these guys meeting and then like the moment that they met, as I just wait too long on an introduction, or wait too long on an introduction, take too long for the introduction, and then someone might say something like that about me, and then I'm absorbing it or something, or I don't fucking know. I'm not a goddamn empath or a clairvoyant. But me telling the story of how I met people is more important to me than reading other people's, how they met people and shit. Mate, feed, kill, repeat, including Slipknot, Only One, and Tattered and Torn, had penned the several songs. From the band, as they made their live debut on December 4th, 95 at Des Moines club The Love Shack. The Love Shack is a little old place where we can get together. Love Shack, baby. Love Shack, baby. Love Shack. Love Shack, baby. Love Shack. That I'm interested in, just because it has to do with like live venues and live shows and like whatever else that I have to add in and include into the ways that like I conduct myself here. I'd hear stories about it. Once they decided to adopt the mask and coveralls, they'd pretty much practice that way. It was like 5 days a week. And there is Kyle Munson, journalist from Des Moines, who's wowed by the Knots' early performances. And the Buckaroo. Good Times Davo, rocking the note FX. T. Hanging with friends in the morning. The strong and independent and unforeseen forces making me very urged and encouraged to drink coffee has me leaving you for another commercial break. On Halloween 1996. Oh, hold on, my brain and voice needs to be calibrated. Hold on. Ooh. Let me calibrate my brain and my voice. Hold on. On Halloween 1996. Slipknot released Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat. The inlay featured a photo of Davo wielding a hammer about to attack then percussionist Greg Welts, who's naked in a metal contraption. And there's a real life animosity in the snap too. It was taken in the alley behind Axiom after Greg, a tattooist working for Davo, was late to his shift. It was freezing cold out and Greg stripped down naked and tucked his thing in. He tucked his thing in. Oh, dude, I convinced myself yesterday that jackasses and people that do jackass style stunts are dead, and this might be true. This might be true. It would be announced here. It's a great thought to share, as I can maybe help protect some of the youths who are thinking of making their own jackass tapes. As I've already made my own jackass tapes as a kid, when jackass was not even at its height yet. Wasn't even at its height in their career spanning so far. Their height was definitely probably the third Jackass film. I was making Jackass films when the first Jackass film came out. And people like jackasses are dead right now. Is if you look at Bam, if you look at Steve-O, if you look at Johnny and what they're doing right now, they've grown up and they're responsible. But I don't have to run around taking care of my own kids. I don't have to run around taking care of my kids, telling them don't make jackass films. But by accident, by sheer accident, it was a total accident that I said this, so that maybe it would help somebody else's kids. That they won't run around doing that, thinking that they're reinventing the wheel or something, considering that it's like we were, that's old news, dude. We were already doing that a long ass time ago. So don't do it. White unannounced commercial break time. Now that the unannounced advertisement is complete, over with, and finished, and done for. This guy tucking his thing in got me sidetracked a bit there, as I had to mention that, like, that's the stuff that I do. It's in my nature. It's in my blood. Amongst many other chivalrous, distinguished, and refined qualities as well. And I had to sit here and play soggy waffle with myself all day long. just isn't much the appeal in that. Chicks don't dig soggy waffle players. Chicks dig regular players. At least I think so. It might have changed. You know, with everything changing so much these days, chicks might not like players and playboys anymore. They might not like that anymore or something. It might have changed overnight with this technology that we have. So frustrating. It's so fucking frustrating to have every kind of response be categorized instantly. Like, this is your box that you're going to be in for right now, and then you'll be in another box tomorrow, and then you'll be in another box every few days, and we're going to make sure we take care of you being in the correct box at the correct time, and all you have to do is just be yourself, or something like that. Because be yourself is all that you can do, and other stuff. The fucking guy tucked his thing in, okay? Like, what I was referring to is right here, right now on camera, let me tuck my thing in. I'm just, the jackass in me is still so much too much alive to need to do that. You know, that's the problem with though being that person, is I'm kind of needing to require some of the stuff before I can even begin to proceed. There's a documentary, One Man Black Metal, from Vice, with the guy on there who's got, there's two of them. There's one guy about One Man Black Metal, another guy with One Man Black Metal. One of the guys that's One Man Black Metal actually created the logo for Thunder Trucks. Thunder Trucks, skateboard trucks. Logo was created by a currently one man black metal musician. And he's romantic too. Gets bust out your notepad, pen, write notes. Writes it down. And the guy has not been paid for his work. Not $1 did he see. So, another metaphor for like me just continuing doing free shit. Doing this show, I mean, this is... there's something that's going to need to be said about this later. It just won't be anytime soon that anything's going to possibly ever be said about any of this shit. So, as many benefits as I might get from it, like being able to chill and relax, that's never been an incentive of mine. So, I don't know when the fuck this part of the stage of the show and my life is gonna fucking be over with, but I'm ready to fucking get on with it already, god damn it. Because we're all saying the same thing over here. And his thing being tucked in started it, so get his ass! I hate people that tuck their thing in. Despite its small-scale release on independent label Ismist, made Slipknot one of Des Moines' most talked-about bands. Its dabblings in disco, jazz, and funk were bold and soon streamlined into a more accessible and influential hip-hop bent on Slipknot. Meanwhile, lyrical inspiration was pulled from an unusual source: tabletop role-playing game Werewolf: The Apocalypse. Gig was dud when they were entertainment venue in the basement of an entertainment venue named GameWorks. You know, if this has something to do with video games, I'm gonna just go ahead and fucking proceed forward, because there is something about A&R that I see, very focused at the time with the writing partner. This does conclude article number 2 with making the Midwest Rage sound so oppressive yet accessible. They're the every person's metal band. they took metal music and they served it to the masses in a way that nobody else had done before them, and there is a method to their madness. Dick knows from the archives, the 9. Corey's old masks with the dreadlocks, rocking the silver, all silver rings, and the fucking sick of it all, titling this article. As the 7-paragraph article here containing an archived interview is gonna have to be reserved off as an exclusive nugget. It's an exclusive tidbit. It's available only from subscription. It's available only if you pay money. It's that where you'll get this. Since you won't get this, and you're not at the place where you get this, then you can get out. Wah! Because we're going right back to the free shit. So that's what I have to do. Because there's more than I just mentioned, and it'd be really nice to have you there if you can stand being here right now. These last 2 articles are the first show in London and questions via email, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter from celebrity fans of Slipknot that are celebrities, and that is pretty exciting to get into. I'm stoked about that. Kind of the same thing as like I was saying, like pay for the exclusive shit and hang out longer for the free shit. And that's going to be your quality of hanging out longer for the free shit, that you have to pause now. You know, I'm the host of the show. I'm conducting the episode, and I'm editing and doing all the editing. So pause it and read this, so I can get on to the last part. And quite honestly, yeah, pause it there. It helps make it easier when I say pause it. Pause it. Pause it. And then you have these fucking awesome old photos. And then the final 3 interviewers conducting interviews here. The following artists: Cashtag, Jamie Campbell-Bauer from Stranger Things, Blood Magic, Diamond Rowe of Tetrarch, Aaron Pauley of Mice and Men, Morgan Lander, Kitty, A.A. Williams, Joe Nally Earn, Conjurers, member of Conjurer named Brady Deep Rose, Heriot's Debbie Gaw, and there she is again, Debbie Gaw from Heriot. And Heriot are here, and they're the new face of British metal. Thus we have segued into the completion of Slipknot and the carrying on here to Heriot and Ozzy with more British metal.